If you're seeing my face, this means you've actually followed directions and are watching the instructional video. Congratulations!
So today we're classifying triangles by their sides and by their angles. This video is going to be super helpful to watch if you also have the vocabulary for today pulled up next to you. Remember, in geometry, appearances can be deceiving. So even though a triangle or a shape or lines may look a certain way, you never know until you measure it. But for now, we're just going to get through the vocabulary using our eyes by what these shapes appear to be. So first, we're going to start by classifying this by its sides. And anytime you see these tick marks like that mean that the sides are congruent. They are the exact same size. So if you have three sides that are the exact same size, the triangle is equilateral. And then just by looking at the angles, all of these angles are less than 90 degrees, which means that if we name it by the angles, it is acute. So this is an equilateral acute or an acute equilateral triangle. So here we go again. If you come upon a triangle that looks like this and there are no tick marks, that means that none of the sides are congruent. When none of the sides are equal, that is called a scalene triangle, when none of the sides are congruent. And if you have one 90-degree angle, that automatically makes your triangle a right triangle. So this is a scalene right triangle, or you can say it the other way, it is a right scalene triangle. Now, if you see tick marks only on two sides of a triangle, that means these two sides are the same size. They are congruent. When only two sides of a triangle are congruent, that is called an isosceles triangle. And again, just by looking at these angles, they are all less than 90 degrees. So this would be an acute isosceles or an isosceles acute triangle. Looking at this guy, oh my goodness, well, there's no tick marks, and right away I see this giant angle, and you can always tilt your paper to get a better idea of the angle. So if I tilt it like this, look at that angle. Oh my gosh, it is so much bigger than 90 degrees. So if I have an angle that is greater than 90 degrees, that means it is an obtuse. And this time I'm starting by naming it the triangle by its angle. So it is an obtuse, and none of the sides appear to be congruent. So it is an obtuse scalene. So again, I just named it by its angles and then its sides, but it doesn't matter which order you go in. All right, let's look at this one right here. All right, let's say that we have a right triangle and you have two tick marks just like this. So if you want to name the triangle by its sides first, these two sides are congruent, which make it isosceles. And then it has one right angle, so it is an isosceles right triangle or a right isosceles triangle. Okay, so this image did not turn out well at all. So I tried to recreate it on this Post-it note. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill out this table below that we're going to count the number of the different scalene triangles, the number of isosceles, equilateral, the right, obtuse, acute, and we're going to put how many there are and what color they are. So let's start. The first one we're going to look for is scalene triangles. So scalene triangles mean that none of the sides are the same size. So I'm seeing tick marks, which means that these triangles on the outside are equilateral. All of those sides are equal. And if we look at these two right triangles in the middle, these are isosceles because two of the sides are the same. Oh my goodness, look here. If we look at the pink triangles, these giant obtuse, because look at that angle, it is so big. These obtuse triangles, even these both have sides that are congruent. So the only scalene triangles I'm seeing are these yellow right triangles around the edges because they have no tick marks. All of the sides are different sizes. So we're going to count how many there are. So there's 2, 4, 6, 8. So there are 8 scalene triangles, and they are the yellow ones. Okay, so now let's find the isosceles triangles. We said that there are 2 here in the middle because these 2 sides are the same. And then we agreed that the pink ones here are also isosceles because if we look at the triangle like this, we see that the 2 sides are the same. So that makes 2 in the middle and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's a total of 6 isosceles and they are pink and green. And like dark green. I guess we'll just call this color blank. All right, equilateral triangles. Those are triangles where all the sides are equal. So those are going to be these guys right here. So there's 4 of those, and we'll say they are light green. Cool. All right, so let's count the number of right triangles we have here. So we've got these 2 right triangles in the middle. We can tell by the little box. So we've got 2, and then we've got 4, 6, 8, 10. So there are 10 right triangles, and they are green, and they are yellow. So those are the green and the yellow. Okay, obtuse. That means it's a triangle that has an angle that is greater than 90 degrees. These really wide angles right here, these right here, the pink triangles are obtuse. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. There are 4 obtuse triangles, and they are our pink triangles. And then the last is we're going to identify the acute triangles. So all the triangles where every single angle is less than 90 degrees. So the yellow ones on the outside don't work because they're right triangles. And then the pink triangles don't work because these are all obtuse. The 2 triangles in the middle don't work because they're right triangles. But if we look at these light green ones, every single angle is less than 90 degrees. So there are 4 of those, and they are our light green triangles. So the reason I'm including this in the video is because you are going to have problems on your homework where you are given a shape with tick marks to show that the sides are congruent and angles, and you're going to have to name, kind of like this, how many of each different kind of triangle there are. All right, okay. It says, explain why any equilateral triangle is also an isosceles triangle, but not all isosceles triangles are equilateral triangles. Any equilateral triangle can be isosceles because it already has 2 equal sides. But not all isosceles triangles are equilateral triangles because some isosceles triangles look like this, where only 2 of the angles are the same. And if you think about it, the same thing in a right triangle. These 2 sides can be the same, and that is isosceles, but it can't be an equilateral. Okay, so let's go here, and we are going to practice now. We're going to classify this triangle according to its sides and its angles. So I'm going to be really precise. I am a perfectionist. So when I measure this side right here, it is about 3.3 centimeters. And this is about 3.5 centimeters. And the hypotenuse, well, I'm just going to assume this is a right triangle, is it's about 4.7. Okay, 4.7 centimeters. All right, so just by looking at the sides, they are all different lengths. So right away, I know this is a scalene triangle. Now, if I want to know if this is a right triangle or a different type of triangle, I need to measure its angles. So I'm going to start with this angle right here. And if this sucker is 90, then we are dealing with a right angle. And wouldn't you know, that is 90 degrees. So right away, I know that it is a right scalene. So I just classified it by its angles and its sides. All right, let's come over here to this guy. I'm going to use my ruler. I'm going to measure all of the sides. So looks like 4.1 centimeters. And I'm going to measure this. That's about 3.9 centimeters. So close, but that's not the same. And I'm going to measure this guy, and that is looks like 4.4 centimeters. So again, if I name this just by its sides, all the sides are different sizes. So it is a scalene triangle. And now just by looking at these angles, I can see that all of these angles are less than 90 degrees. If you're not sure, you can always pick up your paper and rotate it. So I can definitely see that this angle is less than 90. I can see that this angle is less than 90. I can see that this angle is less than 90. Oh my gosh, I'm getting dizzy. All right, so that means that this is a scalene acute. All of the sides are different sizes and all the angles are less than 90 degrees. Okay, so let's practice right here using our vocab. It says classify each triangle according to the lengths of its sides. So here we are naming a triangle by its sides. So I can see right away we have two side lengths that are exactly the same. So that tells me that this is going to be an isosceles. Looking here, 7, 9, 19, none of those are the same, which means it is a scalene. 18, 18, 18, all congruent, all the same, which makes it an equilateral triangle. There's questions like this on your homework, which is why I'm including these. Classify each triangle according to the measures of its angles. So now we are naming it by its angles. Oh, I don't have a line, so we're gonna try to make this as straight as possible. So if I look at the angles here, I notice that I have one angle that is greater than 90 degrees, which means that this would be obtuse. That's an obtuse triangle. If I look at the second one, right there, 90 degrees. If I have a 90-degree angle right away, I know that it is a right triangle. Looking at my third one, 35, 75, 70, all of these are less than 90 degrees, which tells me that this third triangle is acute. Awesome. All right, we're gonna do some of these. There's only 2 more problems and this video is done and you can start your homework. The sum of the lengths of the, the sum of the lengths of the sides of triangle ABC is 25 inches. The lengths of sides AB and BC are 9 inches and 8 inches. Find the length of side AC and classify the triangle. Let's just draw this, really. Just draw a triangle. When in doubt, draw it out. And we're gonna name this triangle ABC. This will help you label the triangle and figure out the missing side length. So it says the lengths of sides AB and BC. So side AB is 9 inches and side BC is 8 inches. And we need to find this one, side AC. But we know that the sum of this side plus this side plus this side is 25. So you're probably like, oh my God, I already know the answer. So you know that 9 plus 8 is 17. And so that means that the missing side has to be 8 because 17 plus 8 gives you 25 and we need 25 inches. Well, now we need to classify the triangle. Well, we don't know the angles. The angles, I mean, there could be a right angle in there, who knows? But we're gonna classify it just by its sides since this is the information that's given to us. And since we have 2 sides that are the same, this is an isosceles triangle. And you can even use the notation. Okay, let's do this last one. Draw a square, divide it into 2 triangles, describe the triangles. Okay, if I want to do this the right way, then I'm gonna use a ruler. So 2 centimeters. I'm gonna try to draw a perfect 90-degree angles without using a protractor. I know I'm living dangerously here. The perfectionist in me is resisting. Okay, there we go. That's as good as it's gonna get. So with a square, we've got all of the angles are right angles. And also in a square, all of the sides are the same. We just measure them, they're 2 centimeters. Now it says to divide this into 2 triangles. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do this. There we go, there's my dividing line. So describe the 2 triangles. Well, they look just like the triangles that were here in the center of this drawing. So the triangles have 2 sides that are equal, which means they are isosceles, and they also have 90-degree angles, which means they are right triangles. So there are 2 let's just say there are 2 isosceles right triangles. All done. All right, good luck on your homework.
Okay, I know the video was kind of long, but hopefully it was so worth it. Please don't hate me.